Welcome to the show, everyone. So over the course of the past couple weeks, I've had a couple people in my life suggest that maybe I start therapy. So Johnny and I said, why don't we find a therapist and let's just do the therapy session on the show. So I'm really excited for this segment. I want to welcome to the show. We found somebody who I think is great. We're going to give her a call right now, and her name is Dr. Maria Lopez.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Lopez. You're on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. You want to give us a little background about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Dr. Maria Lopez, and I'm a mental health professional, and I'm from the best borough in New York City, the Boogie Down Bronx.
That's awesome.
So, what brings you to therapy?
Well, I guess, I would like to maybe work on my anger a little bit. I don't know. So I've been having some blow-ups here and there. I was at CVS the other day, and I'm at the self-checkout line, and I guess a register opened up, and I didn't see it. And the guy behind me starts, like, snapping his fingers at me, And I turn around, and I go, hey, don't snap your fucking fingers at me. And then, it was kind of like a whole thing. We sort of got into it a little bit, and it was a little embarrassing.
Okay, but what's the problem?
What do you mean? Like
he disrespected you. Like, you can't have a guy disrespecting you like that.
Right.
It's good you cussed his ass out.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
I think what happened was you set a healthy boundary, and that boundary was you not being treated like a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone would have bitched out my man at a CVS and he didn't do nothing, like, that would have made my pussy dry up. Like, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, you can't be letting nobody disrespect you.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Like, I'll give you an example. I was at the movies this weekend, and I had my baby with me, and she was crying. And this lady is talking to me. This lady behind me is saying, like, oh, can you please make your baby be quiet? And I was trying to explain to her, like, it's only the previews. Like, she's going to stop crying once the movie starts.
Sure.
And then her man makes some comment, like, oh, why would you bring a baby in here? And I'm like, you got something to say to me, man? Like you want something? Like, don't gaslight me.
Right.
Don't gaslight me. I'm a mental health professional.
Right. Yeah, that's so interesting because I guess you really do have to
I know
like
your tricks.
Right, sure. Yeah, you do.
They almost tried to kick me out the theater, but I don't think they wanted to smoke.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess you really do have to like stand up for yourself because I mean, I'll tell you, I had a landlord a couple years ago that kept my security deposit, and I kind of wish that I'd cursed his ass
That's
out.
the problem. These landlords, like, they think they own everything,
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I do? Like, anytime I live in an apartment, I'll be pouring concrete down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
Down the pipes. That'll cost them mad money.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, cause I feel like my wife too. My wife should probably be a little nicer to me. Sometimes I feel like my wife kind of talks to me like I'm stupid, And sometimes I just got to be like, hey, listen, bitch, you're not going to come in here.
Whoa. What did you say? You call your wife a bitch? Nah, you can't be doing that. That's not okay.
Okay.
That's not okay. And you know what? I know you ain't paying her bills.
Mm-hmm.
I know you ain't paying her bills. You a podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be disrespecting your wife like that. You know what? If I was there right now, I would probably slap the shit out of you, to be honest.
Oh,
you know what?
okay.
Matter of fact, I'm coming down there right now. I'm going to fuck you up. Bye.
Okay, so that was pretty good. Yeah. Seems helpful. All right. We'll be right back with more show. Okay, welcome back. My guest today is a fantastic comedian. I always feel pressure to say more than comedian, but
I don't want to be any more than that. I think that's good. I think comedian's good.
Yeah.
Comedian, lover, brother, friend, son,
pedestrian.
Pedestrian, yeah. Antagonist, insurrectionist. Yeah, I like all of these.
Okay.
Yeah, these are good.
Nice.
It's me, Geoffrey Asmus.
Yes, please welcome.
Wow.
Geoffrey Asmus, back
Here
to the
we
show.
are.
Thanks for being here.
It's been a while. I did this like 2 years ago, didn't I?
I think
two and a half years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
You jettisoned some load. It's just Mike Recine. I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So, I want to, so Jeff was on a couple years ago. If you don't remember, it's, well, I wanted to have you on because, I like to think that, me and you were both liberal.
We're both we're leftists. We're not liberal. Don't ever call me a liberal.
Right.
Don't ever call me a liberal.
But it is fun to say that you're liberal.
Yeah.
It's fun to admit that you're liberal. You're like a proud liberal.
Sure, I am. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Well, Americans are too stupid to understand that liberal and leftists are different, so you just have to say liberal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I hate everything they stand for.
But I don't mind doing that. I think it's funny.
I love
liberal.
Oh yeah. Well, because now it's like edgy.
Yeah.
To be liberal. Being a fascist is like blasé, and like everyone's a fascist now.
Everyone's a fascist.
Everyone's a Joe Rogan. Oh, I fucked a trans Asian woman, or that's like their joke, or the comedy's terrible. So we got to go the other way.
Yeah.
Now
we'll get into that in a sec because I do want to ask you about that.
Good. I'd love to talk about.
But also, okay, so you're liberal.
Sure.
You're I've heard you describe yourself as autistic.
I say that. I don't think I am, but I
don't think I am either.
I think again, America is such a stupid country that if you like are vaguely interested in reading and learning, they think you're autistic.
Yeah.
They're like, what? You don't want to watch The Masked Singer and just watch football all day? You'd want to read a book about the Russian Revolution? You must be mentally ill. There's no way you
must have a disorder.
You like public transit that's efficient and cheaper? It must be a mental illness.
Yeah.
It's you read The Power Broker? You must be a mental
Oh, you don't want to sit in your car and pay $9?
Yeah, right. You don't want to sit in your car and have the anger boil up so you hit your wife when you get home.
Yeah. I love that they're charging car cucks money to drive into the city. And sometimes I do drive in. Sometimes I take my kid to preschool in the car, which is kind of nice.
Oh, but you drive. You're driving.
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
The congestion
sometimes
prices.
I do.
You think that's gonna fuck you up though?
I think it's good. I think it's good that car people are getting mad.
Finally,
you know?
That is true.
I do, because you're a train guy.
I'm a train guy. I haven't owned a car in 5 years, probably. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why you would in New York. I don't even know how anyone would own. Well, you own a car, but like you live like way out there. But
no, I live in Brooklyn Heights.
Oh, so you have no reason to.
No.
Wow.
Just my wife likes it.
Love destroying the fucking planet.
Getting out of the city is nice.
Sure.
Driving to Queens is nice.
Really? Okay.
You
you got to go to Maspeth every once in a while.
Yeah, for dumplings or something.
Sure.
But I do think that like America's so car focused.
We are so obsessed with car. It makes no sense. Yeah.
That we really need to like break people to our will.
We forget how big our cars are too.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Europe, you see their trucks. It's like smaller than our sedans. We're driving these like these like tanks around all day. My dad owns a fucking tank to go to the bank in.
Yeah.
He doesn't use it for anything. It's
clean.
I know. There's no dirt.
What's your dad driving?
He's driving like a massive Ford F-150. He gets a new one every 2.5 years. He never uses.
Is that like a write-off or something?
I think it's just to make him feel young.
Yeah.
It's like my knees don't work, but my fucking truck does.
But he's not like a blue collar guy, right?
Or he thinks he is. He does like a lot of
my dad too.
He does a ton of yard work, so he thinks that makes him a farmer.
Sure.
He does like my mom like kind of works him like a slave, like in the yard and stuff. So he thinks like I'm just like a plumber. I need it. He like uses the truck for like sod once a year.
Yeah.
That's all he has it for.
That's funny. I think my dad was kind of like that too.
They like need to be tough again because he retired and now he's like, I gotta be tough.
I think my dad thought he was a tough guy. He thought he was like an Italian tough guy.
Oh yeah.
But he like works at a bank.
Right, exactly. And they feel bad about it. I think they feel bad. Like they think they should have been men, but they didn't do it.
But they're kind of not.
But they never really were men.
Yeah.
And then it's like this weird, they're tricking their brain.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson's like, if you don't work with your hands, you're a fucking gay bitch.
Right.
And my dad's like,
I better go do it.
I better buy a truck for you, Jordan.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. It's really
when I was a kid, my dad got in a fight in the Wegmans parking lot one day.
Oh, with who? Just a random customer?
Just a guy that he almost like crashed his car with, and he like rolled. He's like, so he's got to like roll his window down.
Oh,
and be like, "What's your problem?"
And then he gets out like, "I'm gonna fucking dent your hood."
He didn't get out.
Oh, thank God.
But he goes right before he pulled away. He goes, "Yeah, step out of that car. I'll beat your fucking head in."
Just looking back at you like, I'm a tough guy, Mike.
I think so.
So your father's a tough guy.
It was me and my brother in the car, so I think he felt like he had to.
Yeah, he's like buffing his chest.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Masculinity's so embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Until I get strong, then I'll be like, masculinity fucking rips. I'm working out this year. Once I get strong, then I'm on the toxic masculine train.
But there really should be like forced manual labor in this country when you think about it.
I think manual labor is great. I think that would be great.
I think it's great too.
You're moving, you're picking stuff up. That's a tough job.
Right, but I did it for so long that I kind of like I see it for what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like not
romanticized to you anymore.
It's not romanticized, and I kind of wish I didn't do it so much.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I didn't rely on it so heavily.
Have you grown to hate people?
No. I think I got out at the right time.
Okay.
But there's something about like I spent way too much time doing manual labor.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people spend way too little.
Yes.
Like I've spent pretty much no time in my life doing manual labor,
but I spent too much time doing it. So I would be like, I would have these days where I would be like in a hallway. I'd be moving somebody's stuff up to like a 4th floor walk up or whatever. I'm covered in sweat, and I'm just like, I'm just like, why am I doing this?
And like all the hallways look the same. You're like, where am I? Which house is this? It all blends together. I'm sure. Oh,
but the story that I would tell myself was that like, this is actually good for me, and this is making me a better comedian.
If I pick up this couch to the 4th floor, I'm gonna kill at Broadway Comedy Club.
Yeah, because I would tell myself like, oh, all these pussies don't know how to do manual labor.
Right.
So they go on stage and they're not relatable.
But then you do manual labor, but you have no time to write. So you have no time to write a joke.
Yeah.
But I'm tough.
And all my friends are becoming famous. And they're all on Instagram Reels, building followings.
They're just at home doing content, but you're like, if I work my trapezius muscles out again, I'm gonna blow up.
And I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh, but I'm like a real guy.
And the audience will respect that.
Yeah, the audience will know.
A real man.
They'll know right away when I get on stage.
I get what you're saying, but I should probably I think if I got a little stronger, they'd respect me more.
Okay.
I can't wear a t-shirt on stage because I feel so insecure about how weak I look.
But you're you know who you are.
I know who I am. But I want men to respect me like 10%.
Yeah.
I don't think men respect me at all. I just want like 10% respect from men.
Okay.
I want them to be like, he could throw one good punch.
Because sometimes you'll share the negative comments that you get.
Oh, I always do. Yeah.
And it feels, but it gives like, he's so unbothered by this.
I'm not that bothered. I'm slightly bothered every once in a while. I did grow a beard because of the comments. Like I have like 2 big moles on my face that are like pretty prominent, and I grew a beard because every clip someone would be talking about them, and I'm like, I can't. They're like, get that fucking mountain off your face, you ugly bitch. I'm like, it's a mole. Everyone's like saying, pop that pimple. I'm like, yeah, it's just a mole I had on my face.
Yeah.
So I'm not fully secure, but we're 80-90% there.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
But it's a lot of men calling me gay and like soy faced and stuff. I get the soy.
But you seem very unbothered by it.
That doesn't bother me that much because that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
To like call someone a soy cuck.
Sure.
Like and mean it sincerely. Like that's pretty sad.
Yeah. Just
because I said something about the right wing people, and they're the ones who are offended.
Of course.
All the time.
Of course.
I'd say it's 90% right wing people offended by jokes.
Yeah.
It's strange that they don't realize it.
Do you feel like culture is becoming so right wing, and do you ever feel like, oh, where's the place for me? You ever feel that way?
I do kind of feel like that. Yeah, in like mainstream comedy now, because it's so Rogan and just like campaigning for Trump openly, and like which is so bizarre.
Which is bizarre. Yeah.
Even if you are Republican, it's like, you're a comedian and you're campaigning for I mean, it's just so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? It seems so antithetical to everything we're supposed to be doing.
Because there were guys like Nick DiPaolo who were always conservative, but you kind of didn't. It wasn't.
He wasn't
like
wearing a George Bush 04 shirt or something. He wasn't like, I love the Iraq War. Like he was just like, you probably knew it, but you would never. Wasn't so open on stage and in their persona.
It's just a weird world to live in, and then like
it's a grift. I mean, it's just a grift.
It's a grift.
They make so much money.
How?
We could have made the grift. We could have turned.
Yeah.
We could have turned alt-right in the last 2 years and gone on Kill Tony and been regulars. We could have done it. We chose not to, either because we're stupid or have like one morsel of morality.
But not everybody's grifting. I mean, there are a handful of really good comics that I wouldn't say.
No, there are funny comics. There are funny comics. Yeah. But there are some that it's so clear they're like using it for followers and money.
Because it's starting to feel like that's what you have to do.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just like coming out of the woodwork now. Like it's like comics who were just like goofy impressionists are now suddenly political, and it's like your jokes used to be about like buying ice cream, and now you suddenly have deep takes on trans people. Like that's not the type of comic you are. Because
nowadays it's almost like the bravest thing you can be is like a soy boy, like a proud soy boy.
Yeah, exactly. I have a shirt that says soy boy. I wear it all the time. Yeah, it's like go for it.
Yeah,
let's be weak. Come on.
I just can't see myself betraying those values. I don't know.
No, the Catholic guilt would never let me do some of the stuff you have to do in Austin to get famous. To like say, Tony, you're funny. Like, I like you. I could never do that.
It's so awesome. What a great community you've built.
I can't believe you called Tom Brady a fag. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't imagine. It's just not why I got into comedy either.
There's nothing to really aspire to now. There's nothing where you go like, oh, I would love to do that.
I know.
Love to work
there
with
used
that
to.
guy.
I used to be like Conan. I'm like, I would love to do Conan. That was my dream. Didn't you do Conan?
Yeah, twice.
That's awesome. That's like, I can't think of a dream now yet in comedy besides like, go viral and sell tickets.
I feel like this right here, this is like the top of what.
This is the top of it. This is the top.
This is the best it gets.
Maybe if I did Hassan Piker's show.
Maybe Hassan Piker's show.
That'd be a dream for a leftist.
Yeah.
There's no real like the Adam Friedland show. Like that's the leftist.
Sure.
We got to get a better leftist comedy.
We have to get a better
Scobby's
leftist
World.
comedy.
We got that too, and there isn't much though.
No,
it's bad.
And you don't even have to be political. Just don't be it like
don't say kill every trans person. That you don't even have to be a great person.
Don't co-sign that. Yeah.
Just don't be like, let's go bowling with the skulls of trans people. If you just don't say that, you're leftist.
Don't say that. And just be funny.
Yeah, the bar. It's like the bar for men as a whole. Like you hold the door open for a woman, she's like, oh my God. That's all we have to do to be liberal as comedians. Just don't say a slur every 10 episodes and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can say the old ones, but not the newer ones.
What are the newer ones?
I mean, not newer, but like you can say like
write them down?
The old white ones, you can say those. Those are fun. The Polish one, the Italian one, those are fun. German, call them a Hun. That's fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah. But then I'm like, maybe there's some. So we got the ceasefire in Gaza.
We did, and didn't Israel like break it like an hour later?
They always do.
Didn't they kill like 6 people within an hour?
They killed like 6 people within an hour.
So I'm like, okay, it's mostly just PR.
There was a video going around of like, I guess some snipers shot like a 12-year-old boy, and then they killed the guy that went to retrieve his body.
Oh, shit like that is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then you still have all these this is why we can't say we're liberal, because the liberal comics are like, but that kid, he was like they're like saying it's anti-Semitic to talk about something like that. That's why we can't be liberal. We gotta, because I lost faith in so many liberal comics who refused to admit what was going on. We won't name names, but I think we're all thinking of the same person. But I think you probably talked about him on here, but we don't say.
No, I don't think so.
No, okay, we won't say it. But like, they're like so like pro gay rights, pro women, and then they're like, but that kid should have his head blown off.
Yeah, they went pretty hard for Kamala.
Yeah, they went hard for Kamala and like hard for war.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why we lost, because you couldn't figure out what left means.
Yeah.
You're pro-war, but pro-gay, right? It makes no sense.
But it's got to be terrible to get a family member killed after the ceasefire.
Oh my God.
Because then it's like nobody really, it's like you have to forget about that death because it's like, well, they said they were going to do a ceasefire. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd be so pissed if they killed my brother like after the ceasefire.
If you survived the war and then you just get killed because of some trigger-happy soldier afterwards, that is embarrassing.
Some 19-year-old who's putting it on TikTok.
He just didn't get the email yet about the ceasefire. He just was like, I haven't clocked out for the
Or
day
he got
yet.
it, and then he was like, what the hell are they going to do to me?
Yeah, and they do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a soldier, I'd take another shot if that's what you need to feel alive.
I guess.
Gotta shoot a little kid.
Did you celebrate? Me and Johnny celebrated Trump a little bit. We had a little celebration in our group
yesterday.
Chat. I forget when. I think it was last week.
Oh, okay.
But we said greatest president in our lifetime. He did it. He got
we got to say that. We got to say that. That's good.
Yeah.
He got. I think they already changed the Gulf of America. I think they already changed, or they're about to. I thought they already did. Maybe.
You want to be a little bit of a wild card.
He is a wild card.
We should be wild cards too.
We should be.
I'm saying like we're two leftist guys trying to navigate the
so every once in a while you got to have a right-wing opinion.
You got to surprise people a little bit.
I think what's your right? I have a right. I'm anti really fat people. That's my right-wing opinion. If you're over 450, I'm kind of out. I think you deserve no rights, just like they think trans people don't deserve rights.
I can't agree with you because they're going to be in the comments being like, Racine's gaining weight and he's going to
450 though. I'm giving you 450. You're nowhere near 450.
Well, that's an interesting one because
that's my right-wing hate. I'll hate on that.
But a lot of that's funded by like Oreos. Like the Oreo cookie.
Big Oreo.
Yeah.
Big Oreo. I mean, the RFK
like a lot of that body positivity stuff is like, it's like funded by corporations.
Oh yeah, to sell products. Yeah, for sure. All those like skincare products. Like everyone's beautiful as long as you use our 17 L'Oreal products.
Like there's literally a picture of a TikToker on the back of this bag of cookies.
Is there really?
No, but I'm saying she probably would.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Beautiful at any size.
Yeah. Those mukbang people, or you know what that is?
No.
Mukbang.
What's that?
Oh, it's this like YouTube series where they just like eat. They just like make a massive feast and they just eat. It's like ASMR of fat people eating.
Oh, okay.
And they've all like gained like hundreds of pounds over their careers. They'll like eat like 20 pounds of lobster on a table and you just watch it for an hour.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. That's like it's huge on YouTube. I mean,
it's huge. Huh?
It is like millions of views. Oh, these people are famous. They make so much money.
It's demonic, isn't it?
It's demonic. Yeah. Oh, they should be shot. They should be put down. But
I'm saying that. But there must be something. Would you be surprised if those people were funded by like Red Lobster or whatever?
No.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure they get co-opted. I'm sure
it's
they
normalizing.
Get everyone's doing ads. I mean, you're getting offers for ads. I'm sure we're all
absolutely.
They're always trying to get us to do ads for worthless products.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're just like, you want this, right?
Nico Avocado. Yeah, that's Nico Cotto Avocado.
Who is Nico Cotto?
$45 to $200.
Wait, is that a mukbang or no?
Is that mukbang?
Yeah, he blew into like 500 pounds or something and then lost it.
But then he lost the weight, right?
Yeah.
Wait, but he's doing, what's the event? He just eats? It's like the event. Nico's trying wings on Thursday at the VIP lounge. Like, what are you watching? That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Nico Cotto Avocado. It's a terrible pun.
Yeah.
I hate a bad pun.
No, he got up to like, but then I think he lost the weight again.
Oh God.
See, I don't know if that's a right wing opinion though.
These ticket prices.
$200
for VIP plus
includes photo with
what
Nick,
is the show?
Ticket.
Oh,
he just smashes watermelons.
He's just doing Gallagher 3.
Nobody knows.
Man,
some Zoomer takes their grandmother and she's like, I saw this already.
He's stealing from Gallagher. Have you actually seen the watermelon bit? It's actually funny.
Is it?
I thought it was just him smashing a watermelon. It's like a very satirical. He's like doing a satirical like pitch for a product called the Sledge-O-Matic, like mocking all these like juicers, but it's just a sledgehammer that crushes your fruit.
Oh, that's
it's actually like pretty funny.
Okay.
I always thought it was just him crushing watermelons. He's not like funny overall, but that bit is kind of like clever.
I remember watching him on Comedy Central being like, I hate this guy.
Well, he has like 15 specials.
Yeah.
He's like the most prolific comedian to ever live.
Yeah.
Only Carlin's put out more, I think.
But I just remember being like, this guy's not funny.
Oh no, he's terrible. But
he died, right?
He just died like a year or two ago. Yeah. But his brother's still touring as him, I believe.
Okay.
His brother is his twin, maybe, but he stole his act and was touring as Gallagher too for years.
Okay.
That's a great brother. I love that. That's a good man.
He's
trying to spread your name, man.
Well, you gotta share the
family name. Come on.
Yeah.
He walked off WTF too.
Oh yeah.
Gallagher did. Oh, what a legend.
Yeah.
Because he said he was like racist or something. I think Mark said he was maybe racist.
That's cool. Anybody who disrespects Mark Maron is cool in my book.
I agree. Well, he's kind of the liberal we're talking about. He went big pro-Israel.
He did
a little bit, but I think he pulled back a little bit. But up top, I remember
up top he said I stand with.
He posted like the flag. A lot of them posted the flag, and I was like, come on.
A lot of those Gen Xers, I think it was.
Yes, they're all like liberal, but like we gotta stand by Israel in the time of need.
Yeah,
like your life has never been affected by being Jewish.
Sure, I know.
We shouldn't go too far into this, but it is what I believe.
What are you gonna do? But was there any part of you that was like, okay, Donald Trump, like that's my president, like he did it. He made a deal.
Oh, about the ceasefire?
Yeah.
I actually was like, okay, he came through. Yeah. I think it's a PR ploy to let Israel actually do worse things, but for now,
you think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they've already said like now he's like the muzzle's off. He said like the next phase is gonna make this first one look like a skirmish. Yeah,
he said that.
Yeah, he said like we're gonna use new weapons. It's gonna be like crazy.
Okay, but what is this idea?
But Trump did come through. Got to give him his flowers for that.
Well, I mean, when I see little videos of, you got to find the joy. You got to parse through. Yeah. You got to find the joy and find the good.
Well, and you realize now that the Biden could have done this the whole time.
Right.
Trump's just like, he gets what he wants. It's not
I see videos of little Palestinian children celebrating and they're like, then you're really like, happy. This is, okay, that's probably good.
They get to have like a couple pizza parties before the next bombing. That's great.
Yeah.
They're good for them. They get to dance. They get to do a little karaoke, go back to school.
Yeah. And Soder and I were kind of fighting over text a little bit.
Really?
Because we sort of had this argument right before the election. And he sort of argued that like, that there was this talking point that even if you do care about Gaza, you have to vote Democrat because Trump's going to be so much worse.
Right, which is insane. Which was so insane because it's happening already right now. What could be worse?
It's happening. What could be worse?
No kidding. Gaza's like, oh no, the orange man's bombing me now.
Yeah,
oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he said grab him by the pussy. It's worse. It's like they don't give a shit.
And I thought
that's
that was
a
like
classic talking point. Yeah,
it was an interesting argument, but when you really examine it, you go, "What do you mean worse?" They can't drop a nuke on Gaza because it's too close to,
and they want to colonize it.
Yeah,
they want to build beach houses there. They're not.
They want everybody dead.
They're already selling the beachfront property. They're trying to kill them all. Yeah, they're not. I think I get why people would believe that, but it's not really rooted in reality. I don't think.
Right.
Well, the Democrats are like so pro-war.
Yeah.
They're like somehow more pro-war than Republicans at times.
Yeah.
In some ways.
But it's like, can't we just have the win? If you're only going to give us two choices forever, and one of them just spent the last year doing a genocide. Yeah. Can't I just celebrate can't I celebrate him a little bit?
Can't we have a guy who's he's at least gonna be funny.
He's at least gonna be funny.
He's already well, it didn't in his speech yesterday. He just said there's two genders just for no reason. He's just like, there's two genders, male and female. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, that is
well, that's a bizarre thing that all these guys are celebrating now.
Which one?
All the right wing guys.
Oh yeah, they're all like
they go, there's two genders.
We're getting rid of that trans shit. That never affected my life in any way.
Yeah, why do you care?
There's like no trans people. It's like embarrassing how much we talk about them.
There's a guy that I follow on Instagram. He's like a sales guy. He does like sales stuff.
Yeah.
And he posted a meme about like, we're going back to two genders, baby. Yeah.
Because his life has just been ruined by these 4 college trans athletes.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Yeah. There's like more Native Americans than trans people. We never talk about them. It's just
for sure.
It's weird how we fixate on this So small.
I guess they're in.
They live in like 4 cities in America. There's trans people.
I know.
There's like no trans people anywhere.
But I guess they're an easy group to.
They're easy, yeah. They're like the Jews. It's like in
they're like
Germany.
the Jews.
It's like there were like no Jews in 1930s Germany. It was like
true?
1% or something.
Okay.
It was mostly in Poland. Yeah, it was like mostly in Germany. So
yeah,
the trans are the new Jews. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't get control of the media. Those shows will suck. And trans-run media shows.
You think?
Oh my god. They'd just be. I guess they've actually Drag Race is actually
pretty good,
pretty entertaining show. So maybe they could figure something out.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Yeah.
Some of those drag queens are hilarious. Bob the drag queen is like an amazing stand-up comedian.
Oh, I don't know.
Bob, you should look up Bob the drag. My girlfriend turned me on. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty good.
Okay.
They look hideous, and I think their life choices are evil, but they're funny. Who knew? Who knew?
Because now everybody's talking about Elon did that like Nazi salute.
He did double.
Now, so what's happening in this country? Everybody's a Nazi. We're going into fascism.
Yeah,
and America's becoming Nazi.
And they're saying that Hitler was a communist or something, or it's weird.
They say that Hitler was a communist
because they're fascist, but he was a which makes no sense. It's very weird. They're trying to be like, we're not Hitler. He was a communist. We're different.
Because he called it the Socialist Party.
And they're too stupid to understand that it means something totally different. Yeah. It's like the Democratic Republic of North Korea. It's not democratic.
Right.
it's in the name.
But North Korea is good, I think.
North Korea is good.
Leftists think North Korea is good.
Some deep leftists do love North Korea. I've never gone that far on the train.
Okay.
Weed is legal there, has been for a long time. That's kind of cool.
But I think they called it the Socialist Party to like appeal to the working class or something.
Yeah. It was like it was just using like a buzzword.
Because I guess fascism, I don't know much about fascism.
Yeah.
But I guess they try to be working class. They try to connect to the working class.
They do in a way.
So that's why they have like Theo Vaughn.
That's like they connect to them culturally, but then they fuck them over economically in every way. Yeah, that's what it is. They be like, we'll get rid of the Jews, and then that will help a poor plumber have a better life.
Right.
And that's kind of
and that thing. Plumber's like, I helped kill the Jews, and now
I still am a plumber for $8 an hour. What the fuck was the point of this?
Well, they make pretty good money, I think.
Actually, plumbers do very well. Yeah, that wasn't the best one, but like an Amazon driver, that's who it is. Those are the angry ones, I feel like.
Yeah.
But and all these right wing people are trying to deny that it was a Sig Heil, and it's like it clearly was a Nazi salute.
Well, do you remember back in the day when you would watch daytime TV and you'd watch like Sally or like even Tyra Banks, and they would just have like a guy in his KKK outfit come in?
Oh
and,
yeah.
there.
Jerry Springer's like, this is what it's like dating in the KKK.
Yeah,
they're like doing the paternity test. Your baby's 2% black.
Yeah,
and he's like gets violently angry.
But it was cool. They would wear their KKK outfit. And they would sit on the TV show and they would like. You have to be, not that I'm pro KKK or anything, but I do appreciate the bravery of going.
At least they were open about it.
Yeah,
they're like, we wear the hoods because of what we believe.
Of like going to Connecticut and facing an entire audience full of black people, from,
And now a guy will,
and they're booing you.
Yeah. And now a guy will Sig Heil and be like, no, I was just trolling the libs. Just own it. Just own it. You're a Nazi. It's not great, but I'd rather you told me.
Because he was like, they'll accuse me of anything.
Is that what he said already?
Yeah, it's like, why do it? You just did it. What? Admit that you did it.
Well, he knows he did. He's like he's such a loser. Like, he's like a troll. He is a troll. Yeah. Like, he has that Twitter or Twitch. He has like a fake profile on Twitch that he like pretends to like.
That he's not him.
That is not him. And it's so sad. It's like, you're the richest man to ever live.
Yeah.
And you're trolling people. Like, isn't a troll supposed to be like bizarre. Powerless?
It makes you respect Bezos.
A little.
It makes you respect alpha male Jeff Bezos.
At least he keeps his personality in check. Yeah, like Zuckerberg, he's like this beta loser who's like, we need more masculine content.
But don't you want to see Zuckerberg beat the shit out of Elon?
That would be fun.
Because they were going to fight, and then Elon backed out of the fight.
Well, because Elon's a huge pussy.
Yeah.
I think we could probably, give me a month, I could beat up Elon.
Sure.
I don't think he has much physically or mentally going on.
Sure.
I think his spirit is pretty weak.
Yeah.
That's why he's creating fake Twitch profiles.
But why would you do a Nazi salute and then like act like you didn't? It's
just supposed to be like this, the left, they're triggered by everything. They don't even like a Nazi salute.
Yeah.
oh, you can't even salute to Adolf Hitler anymore in America.
It's such an obvious gesture.
I'm we all
doing it right
know
now. I'm doing it right now to show how obvious it is.
And Mike Recine he'll say he did it. I did the Sieg Heil.
But look, it's so obviously
it's so obvious.
Yeah.
There's no
But then you see these other right-wing accounts who are like, oh, what about this? And they'll find photos of like Obama, waving or something.
Right.
Why do we live in such a time where I get trying to do it, but so many people seem to be falling for it?
Because our country is very stupid.
Our country's very stupid.
Our education. I mean, what did you learn about history? As like, if I hadn't done the legwork on my own, I would be stupid too. I was like, thankfully, a shy kid who wanted to read a lot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would know nothing about the world.
Very little.
You learn nothing about history.
And I read a lot of bad books as a kid.
Oh, like just like pulpish, like pulpy.
No, I read a book called Sword of Islam.
Oh,
and it's all
Where'd
about
you get
like
Sword of Islam
because I went to Barnes and Noble and it was right after 9/11.
Was this this was like an anti-Islam book? Like they're all violent. They're all trying to take us out.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even like it was such a flat. It was like such a flat read. It was all about like Arab and Muslim extremism throughout history.
Oh, okay.
And the title, the cover is like a guy holding a sword, with a whatever over his.
It's pretty. The messaging is fairly obvious.
It's
what
just
they're
like
going on about.
But I picked up this book and I was like, oh, I'm going to learn about the world.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you a single thing that I read in that goddamn book
because it was poorly written.
It was just
it's like that pulpy. It's like the 15 best presidents of the United States. It's like that's the books most people.
It was
read.
like a Barnes and Noble,
like a Bill O'Reilly
bestseller.
history thing,
like a Bill
Paul
O'Reilly
Revere's big day.
Yeah. That doesn't tell you anything about anything.
No, yeah.
I read a book called One Day in September about the Munich Olympic Games.
Oh, they're making another movie about that. I saw.
Are they really?
It seems very timed for like to help Israel. It seems like a faux Israeli propaganda. Like, remember what we went through when those Arabs killed 8 people?
Yeah.
And then they leave out that they
did it. Yeah.
No, they did it. They killed them. But then they killed like 7,000 in retribution.
Sure.
And it's like, that's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember I read a book about it. Like they went and hunted down like every terrorist or whatever. They like found them, killed their families. And one time they accidentally like blew up an airliner, had like 300 people on it. And the book just like glazed over that. Yeah. It was like one sentence. Oh, and they also accidentally bombed Libyan Air 435. 300 people died.
Yeah.
And they just moved on as if like no big deal.
They're so annoying.
They just do all this shit and everyone's like, well, they've been through a lot.
Yeah.
They've been through so much.
Yeah.
It's like a friend who's like a huge drug addict and it's like, but he's still an asshole.
Right.
He might be addicted to drugs and have like trauma, but he's still tough hang. I feel like that's Israel.
There's not really anything Jewish about Israel. There kind of is, but like the nature of what they, you know what I mean? Like Zionism, I just feel like you got to separate. I try to separate.
Oh yeah, they're
Zionism
totally. It's totally. Zionism's not religious at all.
It's not religious at all.
It's just nationalism with a cloak of God over it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's very odd that I studied abroad in Israel. I lived in Israel for a summer.
Oh yeah.
It's like the most obvious. If you go there and you're not like, if you're like Jewish, you're going to see what you want to see. But I'm like a neutral observer. It's the most obvious apartheid ever. It's like right there. They're like, oh, that's the Muslim ghetto. That's where the Jews live. Okay. The Arabs have their own bus line in Jerusalem. It's like a rickety bus from the 40s.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's racist. Everything they say is racist about Arabs.
And then I saw Ben Shapiro tweeting about how like he's cool with Elon.
Oh, why so was he anti-Elon?
No, but he was just like, oh, Elon's my friend after like the Nazi salute thing.
Oh, because he's like, oh yeah, of course. But they're just again grifting. He'll make more money if he's pro Elon.
Yeah.
If he goes anti-Elon, his whole followers be like, you fucking soy lib cuck. Oh, can't take a little Nazi salute, you Jewish bastard. He has to do it to protect his brand.
I don't want to grift, but I'd like to know the steps. I'd like to know how you get approached.
I'd like to grift a little bit. I'd like to have like a pill I sell at the end of an episode or something.
Well, because it seems like the Young Turks are doing that a little bit, right?
Do they sell some stuff too?
I don't know what the like what the formula looks like, but it seems like Anna's always yelling about the homeless.
Oh, they found one right-wing thing they hate?
Yeah.
Really?
She's like, these goddamn homeless people. And I don't know, I had like a ton of respect for her a few years ago.
Dang, she went on the anti-homeless.
These goddamn homeless, and it's disgusting. Yeah.
On the Young Turks. Dang, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
Going after the home.
But I guess that's what you do after a certain point.
You do just, I mean, you're just gonna, you have to do something populist that everyone's gonna like. Everyone hates the homeless now. That's trendy.
Sure.
We killed a homeless person, we'd go viral we'd be selling out the Omaha Funny Bone in a month. If me and you clubbed a homeless guy to death, we'd be doing great in ticket sales.
But that's the thing. I don't even dislike them. I don't either. We talked about this a couple weeks ago on the show, but I saw a lady take a shit on the 2 train. And I don't have any like animosity towards her. I'm not like I'm not like, put her in a camp or anything.
Things like that. It's like, I'm like, where are they supposed to shit?
Yeah.
I've had problems in New York finding a bathroom to shit in. I've had times where I'm like, I have diarrhea and I don't know where I'm going to go. Yeah. I might have to shit in Washington Square Park right now.
Right. What I'm saying is I can't muster up the strength to be mad at the home.
No, I don't understand the anger at them. Their lives are so brutally terrible.
Yeah.
Just let me, it makes me feel good that they exist. I want a few of them around. Yeah. Like, we're killing it.
Yeah.
Look at these fucking losers. We have a home.
Yeah. I guess my path to the right wing would be like a Muslim thing.
The Muzz thing.
I'd be so
get them out of here.
I'd be like
pro-Palestine, anti-Muslim.
I would like to do whatever Jackson Hinkle's doing.
Who is that? I don't know that guy.
He's like a right winger who's like pro-Hamas and pro-Putin.
Oh, he's so
maybe that's Johnny. Maybe that's our path.
Let's go.
We'll do Iran, Putin, Assad.
Oh, is he like the pro-Hamas angle because he hates Jews so much? He comes back around?
No.
Because that's like Dan Bilzerian. He's so anti-Semitic, he like loves Hamas.
Yeah.
He's like, the Jews run everything and thank God Hamas is killing.
Well, that's what
kind
a lot
of his
of people,
angle.
I'm saying that might have to be my path too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a popular right-wing twist. Yeah. You could make a lot of money off that, absolutely.
But I want to talk about getting conned a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's like, that happened to me last week. I was like, oh, yes, Trump, he did it. Yeah. And it's the same thing with a guy like Dan Bilzerian when he starts talking about being pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
I go, oh, this guy was a grifter piece of shit his whole life. But now he wants to be good.
Even he can see the light.
Even he can see
for
it.
Like a day or two, I was like, damn it. Even Dan Bilzerian sees through the evil.
Yeah.
And then he like had an interview where he said the Holocaust didn't happen. And then I was like, fuck. Lost Dan. Thought I had Danny B on my side there.
But this is what I'm saying. It's so hard to be guys like me and you. Because we go,
just like smart.
What is the move? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know. The move is just to be funny, I guess.
Yeah.
I think being a decent person, I mean, not that we're like saints or whatever, but
no,
staying on the right or left side of history in this case is good in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what like Carlin did. That's what Hicks did. You don't want to be don't want to be a hack.
Yeah.
Because also it's like going far right, even if you agree with it or not, you are just becoming a hack too. If you just say the same premises over and over again, like it can't be original or inventive at some point. Mm-hmm. At some point, saying kids these days identify as a tank has to be like hack.
Right.
They're like just like saying one of the 7 buzzwords isn't funny at some point. Mm-hmm. You have to you get stuck in this bubble. You got to get out of it.
Sure.
And we just go up there and we're like, I think there should be 9,000 pronouns. That's my big bit.
Just lean in.
Yeah, lean in. There's 9,300 genders, and I've been every single one. That's gonna be our new thing, our new grift. Yeah. We're a new gender every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's no money in that.
No, there's no money because the money on the liberal side's like being like a what's her name, it's Mindy Kaling. Right. Who like just goes up and introduces
and you have to
Nancy
be a Zionist
Pelosi.
to do that anyway.
You have to be a Zionist, exactly. Yeah. We don't want to be a Zionist. You can make a lot of money doing that, like pussy hats, like grab me by the patriarchy or whatever, like stuff like that. But that's like somehow worse than the Sig Heil.
That's somehow worse.
I find that to be truly worse than that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be evil, but like you're gonna be like pro gay rights, but like pro slaughtering kids in Gaza. I'd rather you're just full evil.
Right.
Than like wearing like what Mindy Kaling and all those people do. It's like Amy Schumer. Like that shit's embarrassing.
Well, because they're just as like establishment as everybody.
They're helping. They're hurting poor people and destroying our country in pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
They just like think they're good people.
Yeah.
I think Elon Musk thinks he's a bad person. I think he knows, but at least he's open about it.
Sure.
I think.
All right, so it's 2025.
It's 2025.
Fascism's coming back.
Thank God. Hopefully the fashionism also comes back. Those Nazi uniforms. Hope we get some snappy things like that.
You think those uniforms were good?
Oh yeah, I think it was Hugo Boss made them. Yeah, they're good.
I think Hugo Boss makes the ugliest clothing that there is.
I really don't know much about fashion, but
go
the uniforms were snappy.
Go into a Hugo Boss store.
Okay.
You're like, this is crap.
Really?
It's disgusting. Yeah.
Okay. I just go Uniqlo. The Koreans figured it out. I'm all in on Uniqlo.
Yeah, Uniqlo's good.
Uniqlo rocks.
I like J. Crew and Banana Republic.
Okay.
But J. Crew's kind of my go-to.
That makes sense.
If I want to treat myself.
That seems like a New Jersey like Italian guy. J. Crew. I don't know why. Who's
trying to like not be like his father.
Yeah. I'm rebelling, Dad. Oh, you're wearing that gay J. Crew again? Oh my God.
Yeah, Dad, it's from freaking J. Crew.
Oh.
It's from J. Crew and it's charcoal gray. Because his dad's wearing like a like a colorful shirt.
Covered in sweat.
His dad's wearing like a tan suit. With a tan turtleneck. Dad, I'm gonna wear something sensible and casual.
My son wears Banana Republic. What a fucking bitch.
Yeah. All right, so I think what's important is knowledge is still very important.
Knowledge is good. You should try to be smart. Yes.
Right. You should try to be smart because we're heading into fascism.
And we're so anti-intellectual. It's like brave to read a book almost.
Yeah.
No one learns. They think they're learning listening to like Joe Rogan or whatever, but no one's like actually attempting to learn anymore. It's brutal. Tough to you're a reader. You're reading a little
bit. I don't have a lot. I don't have a ton of time.
Well, you have a kid. That's right.
I like the idea of reading.
Sure.
I like.
I'm glad you.
I like advocating for reading.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm into that. You're pro literacy.
I don't have any time to read.
Yeah, that's fair.
But,
that's fair.
But so because you shared on your Instagram story recently that you read a bunch of books.
I did. I shared some of my favorites. Yeah.
You want to do a little speed run of the books that you read?
Okay. I'm trying to remember exactly which ones I shared.
I have them right here.
Oh, you wrote it. Okay.
So you had something on because
I think Power Broker is the Power Broker, Robert Caro about Robert Moses. Did you read that?
I'm like 400 pages into that.
Oh, okay. So you're like a third of the way through or so.
I haven't read it since October. I went to New Mexico and I was like, I had like a late flight. Yeah. So I went to a bar. But reading that book, you really have to commit to
you have to keep going. It's
like you
amazing.
have to be like, this is a Power Broker day. You have to commit like a whole day to reading that book. If
you have the type is so small. Like each page is like a journey.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has sentences that are like 500 words long all the time. Yeah. He's a genius. Whatever that Robert Caro.
It's really well written.
He's very good at writing and researching.
Yeah.
I don't know. His wife must have had a terrible time. He's doing so much research on that book. Yeah. There's no way he's remembering her stories or dreams. Yeah. He's so into Robert Moses.
She's like, are you going to fuck me tonight? Or are you just reading about the Garden State Parkway again?
I have to write a paragraph about Robert Moses eating banana sherbet on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
He like goes into these banal details, but it's so good.
Yeah.
It makes you realize how we could have had cities that were livable so easily.
Well, that's an interesting point because you made that point in your Instagram story.
I don't know how far you've got. You might not have gotten quite to when he really fucks it over.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, I don't think I did. Because everybody who you talked about this book says, it gets like, you're going to hate him. It's going to make you angry.
You don't hate him yet?
No, I mean, he's kind of a bad guy, but I don't really...
then you haven't gotten... There's a part where he like becomes so evil and it becomes so clear that he ruined the idea of what a city could be.
Wow.
In like possibly the entire world, definitely America.
Oh, yeah?
That it was almost entirely this guy who did it.
What, just because of the cars?
Just like that he just emphasized public highways and just left no money for public transit.
Why?
Just because the company he created had all the money and because there's more prestige in building a bridge than a train, he thought. Like he liked being at the
trains need to go over bridges, you fucking idiot.
But he liked the ribbon cutting of like having a bridge named after you. It was like the biggest bridge ever. Like I think he said like trains don't get front page news. That's why he didn't want to build underground trains, because you couldn't see what he built then.
Sure.
He wanted to be like, you can see my life's work everywhere.
Okay.
He was, and like they were like, we could like add a train track in the middle of the highway. It'll cost like $500,000, and the project costs like $80 million. And he's like, no, we're not going to leave space for a train. Yeah. And then like 30 years later,
they're going to put a train like in the highway or something?
It would have been amazing. There was going to be a train in the middle of the highway going to LaGuardia.
That's what somebody said. Somebody reviewed that book and said.
And he took it out. There would have been a train. Oh. Same with JFK, and they built it eventually, but it costs like 50 times more.
Can I say something? Later. Taking the train home from the airport is the best thing in the entire world.
It's amazing. JFK, yeah. I love JFK.
I love going to Chicago and you just hop on the train.
Chicago's great too.
From O'Hare.
Boston has a good train too. It's
at the airport?
Yeah, there's this little Silver Line train.
I never fly into Boston. I always drive.
Oh.
Like a cuck. I always drive like
driving on Robert Moses' highway.
Yeah.
You're the fucking thing. And he destroyed Long Island too.
Did he?
He refused to upgrade the Long Island Expressway or the Long Island Railroad or whatever. And so like that's why Long Island's so suburban and kind of like a wasteland of culture.
But it was always suburban. I mean, it was always like, it used to be like little for a while, right?
But there were like these little towns, and they could have built like trains to each of these towns, but instead they just built highways. So it became this suburban development, and now it's just kind of one of the worst places in America, in my opinion. Long Island just sucks.
It does
There's
suck.
nothing going on there. It's just a wasteland of suburbia.
But in the 1920s, he said, we're going to build the Northern State Parkway.
The parks were good. The parks were good.
But the parkways, you got to build those little highways.
He could have built, the parkways were fine. It was like when he did the massive highways later and wouldn't build the trains. That's where he fucked up.
Okay.
The parks were the one good thing he did. That was actually good.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
Though he did put the none in black neighborhoods. It's like, no.
Right.
He put like none in Harlem. Like very openly. He's like, there's no swimming pools in Harlem.
And just said that.
He didn't say that. He's like, they don't deserve it, kind of. Sure. And then the thing with the buses couldn't get to the beaches and everything. Which, because black people rode the buses and stuff. Yeah. And he like destroyed this like Jewish neighborhood too. That I like. But no. In like Harlem, no, in the Bronx, he destroyed this like there's like this 1 mile where it could have the highway could have easily gone through like a park, and it wouldn't have like, not many houses would have been raised, but he wanted to go straight. And so they just destroyed this like old Jewish community. And it was like really sad. It's like, that's one chapter near the end that like is like brutally sad.
Yeah.
You might like, it got me emotional, honestly. He's just like destroyed these like old Jewish people's lives.
Yeah.
And it's never been, it's done. I think it was called East Tremont or something like that.
Okay.
It's like gone now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Moses is, everyone should read that book. It's crazy.
And he was like, I mean, I guess like somebody does have to have the vision of doing the big thing.
He did have,
He had,
but he had no, he had all the money though, so no one could tell him no. That was the problem.
Okay.
The city was bankrupt, and somehow it was very complicated how he got the money, but he
basically
found a way
to do whatever
he had
wanted.
the city like bent over a barrel basically for like 40 years.
Okay.
And that was where it all fell apart. He got way too much power.
He got too much.
But he had a decent idea. The highways were a good start, but you had to have a balance, and he didn't never make a balance.
Because he would go to like the west side of Manhattan and be like, there should be a highway here. And now there is.
Yes.
So yeah.
But he destroyed the riverfront or whatever.
Okay.
That's why you can't go up for like 80 blocks on the west side of Manhattan. You can't walk on the river because he thought it'd be pretty to have a highway there or something, which of course it'd be better to have a park or something.
Right.
But yeah, so he did a bad thing.
Okay.
And then his brother, he like iced his brother out. Have you gotten to that part?
No.
About his brother? Oh, he like completely disowns. He like basically ruins his brother's life for really no reason. Okay. He like makes it so his brother can't get a job anywhere, and his brother like dies penniless in like a 4th floor walk up. He like just dies in a tenement basically.
Okay.
And Robert Moses just like fucks him over at every time.
Well, he was just petty?
Just for like really no reason. He just didn't want to share his success with anyone.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's a good man.
But then what happens when you don't have anybody to...
He had no one to share it with. Yeah. his wife, who he cheated on all the time.
John. Did he cheat on his wife all the time?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I haven't gotten to that part.
Oh yeah, they're in love at the beginning, but he
Yeah.
cheats on her a ton. And then she's like dying at the end, and he just kind of like leaves her to die in the last like few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he probably went to hell.
If Robert Moses didn't go to hell, then there's no point in believing in God.
Right,
There would be no point. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, we're all going to hell, I guess.
Okay.
Hope we see him again. We get to hell and heaven. There's just highway systems everywhere. There's still traffic.
He was doing God's work.
God's like, Moses had a good idea. Who can say no?
He manipulated God.
Yeah. He made the George Washington Bridge.
Funny.
Come on.
You're sitting in traffic in heaven.
Yeah.
You're like, why am I not on a train right now?
The Verrazano's closed. Come on.
Yeah.
God, that would be.
Can you really put trains everywhere though?
You could. There
could be a lot more trains.
There could be like 10 times more. And they don't take up, well, if you think about it, a train takes up no space compared to a highway. You can fit so many more people on a train. People,
yeah.
There's almost no benefit to
efficient.
a highway. There's almost no benefits to having highways instead of public transit.
But don't you like sitting in the car?
It is fun to drive. I like to drive when you're going 80. That's fun.
Yeah.
That you listen.
Don't you like sitting in your
put some
white
Thin Lizzy on?
Volkswagen Jetta playing Girls Gotta Eat?
Is that you? Is that you?
Yeah.
Listen to a little Girls Gotta Eat.
Yeah, I'm a girl once I get in my car. Anyway,
okay, a little Glorilla, yeah.
So speaking of a very stupid country, there's another book that you read. You read a book about Stalingrad.
Stalingrad, great book, yeah. I think it's just called Stalingrad, yeah.
I was on YouTube today doing a little research. I was watching a YouTube short on Stalingrad, and it was one of those like kind of AI generated videos where it's like the German army was blah blah blah.
Oh, it has that same voice. They all have the same voice now. Yep.
But then at the end, it just goes, Andy Richter made a short film called Blowjob in 1964.
Just because it just fucked up.
Not Andy Richter.
Not Andy Richter. I was like,
Andy Warhol.
Richter. Oh,
Andy Warhol.
And it was about Stalingrad?
No, it was like the end of the
Oh, the AI thing just fucked up?
No, it was like, I think it was like a clickbaity thing.
Oh.
Where it's like, we have to talk about getting your dick sucked if people watch
or young men are not going to listen to history. Or they're not going to care. Yeah. Or watch the Stalingrad clip. They talk about blowjobs at the end. That's how to get young men into history.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how stupid of a country we live in. But you read a book on Stalingrad.
Stalingrad, great battle. Best battle ever, perhaps.
You think?
Probably the most important battle in human history, probably.
Okay.
We don't give the Russians credit. I mean, they won World War II, and we can't admit that, though. We have to be like, no, it was D-Day, but it's like the numbers aren't even close.
But they won World War II, how? Just by like throwing bodies at
They won it by attrition. And we did give them some weapons. You could say we played a part.
What's attrition?
That's just like, we'll kill 100 men die, but we can replace them easily. Just like lose, just like a numbers game, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost like 20 million people or something.
Yeah.
And America
it
wasn't
might have been
even
50 million.
It could have been. I think if you count like famines and stuff after, it could have. And America wasn't even 500,000.
Really?
Close.
Yeah.
I don't think UK and America combined were 1 million even.
Mm-hmm.
We like to tout that we sacrificed so much. It wasn't even, Russia like got destroyed too.
Mm-hmm.
Like America, we're like, Pearl Harbor. They attack us for like 3 hours and we haven't recovered.
Right.
Russia, the entire half the country every square inch was destroyed.
And then our grandparents are like, yeah, we only had one can of beans.
Yeah.
We
had to have a victory garden in the back.
We couldn't eat pork on Fridays because we had to give it to the boys.
Our tires were bald. All our tires were bald.
Yeah.
And in Russia, they're like eating their children and deciding which child's going to make it to next week.
Jesus.
Everyone's fighting in the war. The Russians sacrificed so much more.
Yeah.
But yes.
Why did Hitler need Russia? He wasn't very bright, it seems like.
No, Hitler was incredibly. If Hitler, he was a terrible general. Yeah, really bad. He was good at like the morale and all that. Yeah, great ideas too, of course.
Speeches.
But great speeches. Love everything in them. But his campaign, he had like 3 or 4 huge fuck ups that lost them the war. Definitely.
Yeah.
Invading Russia. They had like a jet fighter before anyone else.
Okay.
Like the Messerschmitt something.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, we need to turn it into a bomber, not a fighter. So they wasted like 2 more years. So they didn't introduce it till the very end of the war.
And then I heard that like he was looking at a map of Russia and like they didn't need to take Stalingrad, but he saw the name Stalin on it.
Yeah, it was a huge propaganda thing. Yeah. They could have bypassed it and gone to the oil fields of like Azerbaijan, and he chose not to.
Wow.
They would have probably won the war if he'd done that.
Just because the name.
He's just all ego. It was all ego. Yeah, because Stalingrad's was the second or third biggest city in Russia or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the Italians kind of lost it for him a little bit.
Was anybody in World War II humble? Were there any humble people?
Humble guys. I feel like Churchill, maybe.
Really?
I don't feel has the massive ego.
Yeah.
I kind of liked him always.
But Hitler's such a great character study of what not to be like. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my kid, don't be like Hitler at all.
There's this guy, Adolf. Don't do what he did.
Yeah. Even aside from the Holocaust.
He was bad with women. He was a sexist. That's what I hate about him. He didn't respect
He was a sexist.
women. Yeah, Didn't he date his niece and then got her to kill herself or something like that? I'd have to look that up. But there was someone vaguely related to him that he was probably fucking that she died mysteriously.
Okay.
I can't remember her name right now.
Okay.
And micro penis, don't be like that.
Don't be like that.
How about you have a big dick, son?
How about you get the surgery and fix it?
Get a couple extra inches. You'll love the Jews.
How about spend the money? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hitler, he did not smart either.
Not smart.
Very stupid. Yeah.
What's redeeming? It's just the speeches.
They're good at speeches. He got people to believe in this. Mm-hmm. He got people to believe that the Jewish people who represent 1% of the country were ruining it.
Yeah.
Just like how people think five trans athletes are ruining America. He did. They're good at that. I don't know how they do it, but
I don't know how they do it. I guess they fixate.
This sport I've never watched and never will is being ruined by someone I've never met.
Right.
I'm so angry.
Yeah.
It's an incredible coup. It's brilliant in a way.
And then the whole thing with trans kids, isn't it better for a kid if a kid knows they're trans to not go through puberty? Don't you become don't most trans people say, I wish I took the puberty blockers because then I wouldn't have.
I think some people do, yeah. Some people regret not doing it, but of course there's always going to be. Yeah. But also I'm just saying
it's such a complicated issue.
It is complicated, but also it's a thing that literally never happens.
What?
The kids going trans. I think they had said 6 people a year do it. It's literally not a thing.
But there's a decent number of kids who are transgender.
But they're not doing the hormones and stuff. They might be I identify.
But I'm saying maybe they should be doing the hormones.
Oh, you're saying we need more hormones. Oh, okay.
I'm saying let them if that's what they know they want to do and they go through counseling and everything, which I think is part of the process.
I think there is I think there's some holes. Yeah, you gotta jump through some hoops.
You gotta jump through some hoops. But if my kid's knows he's a girl since he's 4 years old,
yeah,
then I'm gonna be okay, what do we have to do to make you the most beautiful girl?
Yeah, you don't want to do it too late and then they end up being ugly. You don't want that.
You don't want them transitioning when he's 40.
Yeah. You want him to do it young. I think before puberty ravages your beautiful feminine body. Everyone's anti-chemicals in kids, but then we feed them fucking nacho cheese from a molten lava.
Exactly.
Yeah, so RFK is going to get rid of that shit.
Okay, so Stalingrad, urban warfare.
Oh, that'd be brutal. You're fighting out of a Panera.
Yeah.
You're fucking bunkering down in a Jimmy John's. That would be tough.
And then what I want to know is what did they do with the civilians? Because the civilians are caught up, right?
A lot of them were there and just fought.
A
lot of the Russians just picked up a pistol and just fought or helped them.
Okay.
Ferried supplies between bunkers and stuff.
Because everybody's mad at the Hamas guys for not wearing their uniforms.
Oh, yeah. Because warfare is supposed to be orderly.
Orderly, yeah.
I always thought that's the idea of, they're it's a war crime. They're not wearing uniforms.
Yeah.
The idea of war crimes is so funny that there's a gentlemanly way to do it.
Or that they could do one.
Yeah, also if they did that, they would lose.
Right.
The whole reason they win is because of guerrilla warfare.
It's don't you know about the American Revolution?
Don't you guys know?
Don't you guys?
Yeah, the guerrillas always win.
It's you love the Confederates. They didn't have uniforms.
Right.
You know?
True.
Those are my teams: Hamas, the Confederates.
So hopefully we got a winner this time.
Yeah.
Hopefully you bet on some losers in the past, but
yeah,
the Russians are. I actually haven't paid attention to the war in Ukraine. Are they winning? Who's winning?
I have no idea.
I have literally no idea who's winning that one. I kind of gave
up. Who cares?
I truly don't care.
Who cares about a bunch of white people? About a bunch of #white people.
That's how I celebrate Martin Luther King Day. Finally, white people are killing white people. Finally. Thank you.
That's
Thank
good
you.
for me.
Black History. I believe it started during Black History Month. I think that's good.
Yeah.
That kill a lot.
Well,
of
they tried to take the focus off of
Black History.
Black History Month. White people always upstaging.
Oh, Kiev.
Yeah.
You don't want to learn about fucking Malcolm X right now?
Yeah. But like, what was the I don't know, what are some of your takeaways from reading about Stalingrad?
I think one of the things I think is so funny is there's some parts in the book where Hitler like really trashes the German, like the Italians and the Hungarians. He like says like they're like mongrel dogs, and they're 4 German divisions equals 1, or 4 Italian divisions equals 1 German division. He's like always
that's funny.
He's always trashing the Italians, saying like they can't fight. And then when it came down to it, they crumbled, and it's why Germany lost the battle, is because like
the Italians crumbled.
These like this like flanking Italian division just like completely crumbled under the pressure and left the Germans trapped in Stalingrad.
Okay,
they just like retreated immediately and just ran all the way back to Italy.
So I guess Hitler was like kind of funny.
He was yeah. He hated the Italians and Romanians. That's who it was. Romanians and Italians.
Okay.
Yeah. So that the Italian army, I'm sure you've heard, they just lost everything in World War II.
They did.
Every battle. They just like fucked up every moment.
Yeah.
They barely beat the Ethiopians.
They're not good at battle, and they're not good at getting in fights in parking lots. They stay in their car.
That's a good metaphor for Italy in World War II.
Yeah.
They won't even get out of the car.
Don't really fight. We just talk shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mussolini talked a big game. He's like, it's going to be the Mediterranean's going to be the Italian Ocean. We're going to own it all. And then they needed Germany's help, and like they invaded Greece, and then like Greece like defeated Italy and was like invading Albania, which Italy owned. Greece like was beaten, and then Germany had to come rescue them.
Really?
Germany had to rescue them in Libya. They fucked up in Stalingrad.
That's really funny.
They lost
they were
so
just
quick.
Tripping over their dicks.
They lost everything. America invaded Sicily, and Italy surrendered like 2 weeks later. They were like surrendered almost immediately.
But then apparently Hitler said that he felt like Mussolini was his only friend.
Mussolini was his idol. That was Hitler's idol. He looked up to Mussolini because Mussolini was older. He was like the original fascist.
Okay.
He like loved Mussolini.
He kind of started it.
Yeah, but then Hitler's like, I did it better. But he loved Mussolini.
Okay.
I don't know as much about Mussolini, but Mussolini got like shot. He got like hung or something by like random Italian peasants or something.
Yeah, they fucked him up.
They beat him to senseless.
They like beat him to death and hung him upside down.
Yeah, they hung him upside down. That's what it was. Yeah. Those Italians, I love it.
Hey, we're passionate people.
They're passionate people. Suddenly they get good at warfare when it's one guy unarmed in the woods.
Yeah.
Then they get real tough.
Right. What is fascism?
What is it? It's like militant, overly militant nationalism. I feel like it's like a call to like the big.
But there's always like corporations behind it, right? There's always like
it's a lot of money. It's fascism's like giving money to like the top.
It's like a lot of money.
Yeah. A big part of fascism is like calling back to this like mythical golden age.
Right.
Like 80 years ago things were perfect, and then usually some minority group fucked it up. That's what Germany did. They're like, it used to be so good before World War I and the Jews took us out. Now we're doing now it's like the Guatemalans ruined America. It's like it's a call to like,
now it's you know that girl that works at your coffee shop?
Yeah, you know that guy who makes you food every day who seems so nice and kind? He's ruining America.
Yeah. It's your queer baristas.
Yeah. Yeah, if they get rid of the trans people and the Guatemalans, who's going to make my fucking matcha latte?
Exactly.
I think people are going to be real pissed when there's like no Mexicans in the kitchens and you have like 20-year-old white kids in the kitchen. The food's going to be so bad, and they're going to be just like, a girl named Thistle's going to be throwing a fit in the kitchen. Like, it's just not my moon day to be making an omelet.
But that's the thing. It's like they're never going to get rid of the.
They claim they are. I don't know.
But they can't because everyone needs these people to work.
I know. But I think
they're such cheap labor.
I think
weird.
They went so far into it. They have to get rid of some of them. They've gone so far promising things. They kind of have to go through with it.
It's just a weird thing where, they have to go through with it. They have to demonize them, but they also want them here.
Yeah, but I think they're almost so stupid. They just like have to fulfill this campaign promise, or they know they're done.
Right.
They have to kick out at least a million.
Yeah.
I think they're already raiding. Didn't they already start the raids? I think they already started them.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, they are. They're already like kicking Puerto Ricans out of Chicago and stuff. If they shut down the taco truck by my house in Bed-Stuy, I'll become a rebel. I'll become a Luigi Mangione.
Everybody says that, but
no, of course I won't. Yeah,
nobody's going to do it.
Huge pussy.
It's a bummer too. Yeah,
it is a bummer. I thought the Luigi would have some copycats in it. It's only been a month or two, but I thought it would like start something.
Well, they're just going to make an example out of him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy. They're gonna hang him somehow. They'll bring back.
They will. Yeah.
They'll like a firing squad.
They'll have a firing squad.
Absolutely, and it'll be like Elon and Bezos with the rifles. All the techno oligarchs will be holding the rifles. I think that Vivek.
Yeah.
They all like don't know how to use a rifle because they've never done anything with their hands in their life.
Yeah,
that would be very funny. I would watch that. Watch that.
Well, what can you do besides read books and post and
you just got to have the right posts. That's what it's all about. You got to have some good posts.
Yeah,
you've got good posts.
Thanks.
Your post. I mean, you must get so much Zionist hate.
Did you kind
of weed them out?
I think I'm good at tuning it out. I don't go looking for it.
Oh, okay. But you don't get like messages like. No. I haven't posted about Palestine in a few months, but I used to get. Every like couple days, like some guy like, you fucking Jewish hating bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah. I used to get shit like that all the time, and it like kind of scared me a little bit. I like stopped.
Really, I don't really get them that much.
Really, I think I get a lot because I was on that Seller podcast, and a lot of I think some of like their owners' friends or they pass it around to their Zionist friends or whatever.
Sure,
I think that got around.
He's still working you though, right?
Yeah. I don't perform there I don't put in my avails that much.
Okay.
I think it's kind of I don't want to say too much, but I think it's kind of an evil organization. Yeah. It's not. Also, we don't it's just a club.
Right.
It's just a stage with a mic. We like to prop these things up.
Yeah.
Of course it's good. Yes. We've said too much.
I've actually never worked there.
You're a hero. You're technically a pro-Palestine hero.
Because of my principles.
Mike Recine will not audition because he loves the Palestinian people so much.
I definitely did not audition twice.
You auditioned twice?
It's a long story.
Oh my God, that's tragic. That's tragic. Now I'm doing it out of, now I'm not going to send him my bills because I'm free Mike Recine.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Give my spots to Mike. Yeah.
Solidarity is important.
Solidarity is important.
You would think.
You would think.
All right. You want to plug anything?
What do I want to plug? I'm touring everywhere this spring. Go to whitecomedian.com, folks. I bought whitecomedian.com about a decade ago. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Buy a ticket. Recording a special this spring.
I gotta say, you really carved out a nice little career for yourself, and it doesn't seem like you had a ton of help from other people. You're not in any of these factions or anything. You're not in any of these cliques.
I am proud that I kind of I mean, you're
a bit of a lone wolf.
A little bit. Soder has helped me a lot. Marilla and Norman helped me a little bit, but that's cool. Otherwise, I did do it kind of on my own. I actually am proud of that. Yeah. I am proud that like the people who come to my shows are like cool too.
Yeah.
I've weeded out a lot. I lost a lot of followers the last like year or two. Kind of because I used to get I went real viral on right wing social media for a while. Like Ben Shapiro was sharing my clips.
Yeah.
Because they didn't quite get the tongue-in-cheek nature of what I was saying.
Okay.
I was like kind of mocking them and they didn't quite get that.
That's fun.
And now I've kind of come out a little more as like a liberal left guy and I lost a ton of followers. But the people who stayed are cool as hell.
Right.
So like my shows are like, the fans are sick.
Yeah.
I have like really good fans. They're like smart and love comedy. And they don't get offended.
Yeah.
They're like Democrats who aren't pussies. They're like the coolest people. I really like my fan base.
Yeah.
Or they're like Republicans.
And it's okay if to have a few right wing.
Oh no, I have a decent amount of right wing guys, but they're all like Trump, he's kind of crazy or whatever. They like kind of get
or they're all guys who like own like a landscaping company or something.
Yeah. They just want to hear you say something crazy.
Yeah.
They just want to have a good time.
And they're like, get your fucking hands out of my pocket.
Well, they're like the type of poor white people who, if I sat them down, I could make them a socialist in an hour.
No, but what I'm saying is like some of the right wing guys that are fans of me are just like they like own a business or something.
Oh sure, yeah.
And you go, yeah, good for you.
Yeah,
think whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. I don't really care. Honestly.
We're small business owners.
We are small, but we got LLCs. Yeah. We're helping this.
I don't want to. I work my ass off every day.
The thing is, we do work hard. We work hard. People don't see it. People don't see it. All these books I read, that was work.
Right.
That was work.
Right.
Watching these 8-part true crime series, that's work.
Well, the thing about being a mover is like you do it and
you actually are working.
I know, but the thing about being a mover is like you do it and it's over. Then you're off. You get to go home when the job's over.
Right.
This is just
comedy never really ends. If you want to, like, you could work 24/7 if you wanted to.
If you wanted to,
you would go insane. But some people do it, and that's why they're more famous than us.
More famous.
But but we also have a soul. Yeah, that's what I like to tell myself. That's why I only half sold the Omaha Funny Bone. It's because I had one moment of integrity in my life.
Yeah, you were there for a weekend. That's great.
Yeah. We had a good time. We had a good time. No, it's good.
All right.
You got fans too. You got you're selling tickets on the road.
Fine. I'll be fine.
You're doing fine.
I'm not gonna sit here and complain about.
Yeah, we're doing good. People
want to hear about urban warfare. They don't want to hear about my. They don't want to hear me bitch.
We chose not to take the Austin path, and we'll figure it out. Did you ever think about moving to Austin?
Yeah, it's going to swing back to Soy Boys very soon.
I think it will.
Did I ever think about moving to Austin? No, I don't want any part of that.
I was out. I never really thought. I thought maybe for like a week or two, but it never really.
Yeah.
It seems so aggro. I just hate that aggro shit.
And there's guys that live there that are comics that I like, and I don't think they like it.
No, the city's terrible. The city.
But even like the good comics that live there, they kind of.
There's some great comics there, and I think they might realize they maybe fucked up.
I think they fucked up.
I think they realize that. Yeah. So we're gonna do our own thing, folks.
Yeah, it's New York forever.
New York forever. Yeah. Hopefully not. New York is falling, but you got to get out. You're from here though. You're from here, so you got. I think I'll be gone in a year probably.
Oh, where are you gonna go?
I think I'll go back to the Midwest. Probably Chicago.
That's kind of the dream, though, huh?
The dream in Minneapolis or Chicago, I'd live in.
To live there?
Yeah, I love Chicago and Minneapolis.
Me too.
Then they have great comedy. They have good comedy.
Should we share like a duplex or something?
I would love. We open up a little comedy club.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
have a soy boy hut.
Have a big falling out.
Yeah. Work together for 18 months and then fucking hate each other. Yeah. I have a picture of you on the door. He's never booked here.
Banned.
Don't let Mike Recine in the soy boy hut.
It's the logo of the club.
Yeah. Your face. Yeah. I would love that. That's the dream. Move back.
Yeah.
Because New York is going to flood. There's going to be a hurricane that's going to be insane.
Something's coming,
or a heat wave that's going to like take out the power.
Mm-hmm.
That's my fear.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be 105 degrees 10 days in a row, and then the power goes out and all hell breaks loose. I'm real doomsday like that. Sure. I think about that a lot.
No, but I think you're right.
I don't think this year, but I bet in the next 3 years it'll be a massive hurricane or a heat wave that just like takes out the city. Not like takes it out, but like the power. If the power went out for like more than 2 hours, it would be anarchy.
Yeah.
Don't you think people would just start looting and killing? And I think it would happen fairly quickly. Maybe like 4 or 5 hours.
It went out during Sandy, and it was okay. It was manageable.
Did it? It did. When was Sandy? What year was that?
2013.
Okay, the people weren't as angry then. The anger is so much higher now.
Maybe.
I feel like that it's too much boiling over. Yeah. I hope you're right, but I think it could get bad. Not that Chicago is a major city that won't.
But if you're high up, you're probably fine, right? If you're high up enough.
Probably, yeah. There's probably certain neighborhoods that are better than others. I don't know that well enough.
Yeah. You just don't want to live in like a basement apartment with your ex for a year.
Dude, is that where you lived in during?
What's that?
Is that where you lived during?
No, I was in Ridgewood, and luckily it was Ridge was on a slope, so it didn't really get hit or affected anything.
Oh God, stuck in a flooding basement with a woman you don't love. That'd be a brutal way to go. I just feel like, take the stuff, lady. I'm staying here.
Yeah.
Let the waters take
you
me.
Can't leave. There's nowhere to live. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, I'd be out.
She's like, can I have the place to myself for like 40 minutes later today?
Like, it's gone.
Yeah.
The place is gone. If my home burned down in LA, I'd be like, I'm done. I wouldn't recover.
Yeah.
I'd kill myself. I'd be like, this is too hard.
Really?
I couldn't make it. Or I'd leave LA. I wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
You can't go back.
Yeah.
But they have to, unfortunately.
There's always my mom's house. All right.
It's always mommy's house. Yeah, yes.
All right. Well, thanks again.
You got to.
What am I plugging? I got some dates coming up. See, what my trick is, I never say when the dates are.
So they just have to look up because then they'll look.
I'm telling you dates over the course of like 6 months.
Oh, okay. The old 6-month tour. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but
I like it.
I got Cleveland, I got Cincinnati, I got Boston, I got Chicago, and I think I just added Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, are you doing that room in Fargo?
I'm doing that room, and then I'm doing Zanies on the 20th. So that's cool. I'm doing the weekend in Fargo and then the Sunday at Zanies.
You're flying from Fargo to Chicago, the classic. There
can
we
you
go.
do that? You can do that,
can
right?
do. Oh, I think you can do that. Yeah. The room in Fargo is actually great.
That's what I've heard.
Fargo's I've never been to a place that drinks as much as Fargo. That is a drinking town.
Nice.
They have nothing to do but Coke and drink.
Yeah.
And they love to laugh. They're fairly stupid, but they're a good crowd.
Okay.
They're a good crowd. You'll have a great time.
Okay. Great.
Don't sleep on Fargo, folks.
Great. And then Boston.
Boston, great.
And then some more dates coming up.
More dates. Stay tuned.
I said most of them.
No, that was good. That was good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Follow me on Geoffrey ATM at Instagram. Geoffrey ATM. Geoffrey Astamouth on Instagram. Please give me a follow.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right. That's the show. We'll see you over on Patreon. Hopefully, if you want to join the Patreon, it's patreon.com/outforsmokes. And if not, we'll see you next week, folks. Bye-bye.
Peace.